the best beginner credit cards of 2023. Hey folks, and welcome back to another segment of What Card Wednesday. For those of you who are new viewers out there, welcome. My name is John of John's Finance Tips. And today I am covering a question I get asked all the time, which is, John, what's the best beginner credit card? Well, I'm not just gonna give you one or two or three, but I am gonna give you the top 6 best credit cards for beginners in 2023. In my credit card career, I've probably had about every card imaginable. But even still, I remember when I first got started, I was always curious to find out, well, how to get started. Which card should I get? Which card should I get next? And so on. So today, hopefully I'm gonna give you a comprehensive overview of all the top beginner credit cards in the marketplace, and so that you can get started on your credit card journey. Now, if you're sitting in the audience and you have one, maybe 2 cards, and you're thinking, well, this isn't a video for me, I would say still go through the list and let me know, hey, did what I say make sense? And of course, most importantly, if you have had any of the cards that I'm about to discuss, please help me out in the comment section. People have questions all the time. If you can address a question about one of the cards, please feel free to, and I really, really appreciate that. Before we get into the tomatoes and potatoes of the entire video though, there is some housekeeping we need to take care of. The first one being, what are some best practices when it comes to credit cards, right? You're a beginner, you come on this page, you want your first card, maybe you want your second card. Best practices, I'm gonna give you 2 and I need you to engrave these in your head. Ready? With credit cards, you are going to 1, pay on time every single month, and 2, you are going to pay in full. That's it. You pay on time, you pay in full, you just covered 65% of your credit score, which means you're gonna absolutely crush it. If you can't do that, if you're holding credit card debt, I'm sorry, this video isn't for you. I want you to go ahead and get that debt in check and come on back. But if you're just getting started, the most important thing, as someone who has a credit score that ranges anywhere from 780 to about 830, you must pay on time and in full. The second order of business is, what should you even consider a good beginner credit card? So here's my rule of thumb for what's considered a good beginner credit card. There's 3 things to keep in mind. Number 1, most important, there's no annual fee. You're a beginner, you should not be paying an annual fee for any credit card because you're in the learning phases. Number 2, it must offer some sort of cashback earning that's greater than 1%. And number 3, you are offered some sort of sign-up bonus. So those are the 3 most important things to consider for a beginner credit card. As always, if you wouldn't mind, give that little thumb icon, boop, just a punch right down there. And if you'd like to support my channel, please feel free to use any of my affiliate links that are down below. Quick overview as far as how we're gonna structure all the cards. We're gonna first talk about sign-up bonus, then the earnings potential, then the benefits, and usually we would talk about an annual fee, but because these are all my top beginner credit cards, there is no annual fee, so we're gonna jump straight into my verdict. Starting at number 6, we have the BILT MASTERCARD. I'm gonna pause here for a second. I'm gonna sound like such a hypocrite because I just told you the 3 most important things for a beginner credit card is no annual fee, better than 1% cashback earning, and a sign-up bonus, yet the BILT MASTERCARD doesn't have a sign-up bonus. But I couldn't not put this card on the list because 1, it launched last year and I think it's gonna absolutely rock the credit card industry. So just bear with me for one moment. I know, I said sign-up bonus, there's no sign-up bonus, I apologize, but you'll see why in just a moment. The BILT MASTERCARD, as far as earnings, is gonna earn 3 BILT points per dollar spent on dining, 2 BILT points per dollar spent on travel, 1 BILT point per dollar spent on rent, and 1 BILT point spent on everywhere else. Did you catch that? Rent. This credit card lets you earn points for rent, which I would imagine is probably one of your largest monthly expenses if you pay rent. Yet, if you look at any other credit card on the marketplace, they don't offer this feature. And the reason it's special is because large high-rise apartment buildings are in this BILT alliance in which you use a BILT card, they cover the transaction fee, or if you have a small-time landlord, BILT will actually cut a check on your behalf to your landlord so you can earn points. Think about that. That's potentially 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, maybe even 4,000 points a month you are not earning otherwise if you didn't have the BILT MASTERCARD. In addition, on the first of every single month, BILT will actually double your earnings for all of its earnings categories except for rent. So it will be earning 6 points per dollar spent on dining, 4 points per dollar spent on travel, and 2 points per dollar spent everywhere else excluding rent. Next up, benefits. The BILT MASTERCARD gives you BILT points. BILT points can be transferred to either flight partners or hotel partners. The reason that is absolutely crazy is because there is no other no annual fee card on the marketplace that A, offers a credit card currency that is transferable to a flight or hotel partner. But the most important part is the fact that these points are incredibly valuable. Basically, what you're getting with the BILT card is something that's packaged up as a premium travel card for the price of a beginner. In addition, I would wager to say that most people who are looking at a BILT card, you might just be a year or two out of college. You might be getting your first or your second card. This is a solid option. So let's go back to those transfer partners. You can take your BILT points, transfer them to American Airlines, and you can use American Airlines to book for, say, a premium business class flight from America over to the Maldives for 70,000 miles in less than $50. American Airlines, to put into perspective, is also pretty hard to earn miles on when it comes to just credit cards. The BILT MasterCard is one of the only credit cards that transfers to American Airlines. Yes, Marriott does as well, but it's on a 3-to-1 ratio, not that great. In addition, you can transfer points to United Airlines, Turkish, Air Canada. There's so many flight partners. Oh, and by the way, you can also transfer them to the Hyatt program, which I still think is probably the most valuable hotel program, period. Without going into too much of the weeds, I actually have a video that reviews the BILT card up here. The only other thing you need to know is, as a beginner, you're likely gonna have a limited credit profile, which means you're probably gonna get a low credit limit from BILT. So what happens if your credit limit is only, say, $5,000 and your monthly rent is $4,000? Well, if you have a $4,000 balance against a $5,000 credit limit, 80% utilization, that actually hurts your credit score. With the BILT MasterCard, what they actually do is you opt into this thing called BILT Protect, and they basically see that you already have $4,000 in a bank account. They will authorize, basically let you put that $4,000 through on a BILT credit card, and they'll pull money from the bank account to basically pay off the card. You earn the points. You don't actually get the hit of holding a $4,000 balance against a $5,000 credit limit, and happy days. Oh, and by the way, let's say you only had a $2,000 credit limit and a $3,000 charge for your monthly rent. BILT will basically use that exact same principle. Even though you don't actually have the credit limit for it, they'll just pull money out of your bank account, but they're gonna recognize the points that you would earn. Absolutely incredible. The card also comes with cell phone protection. If you pay your monthly phone bill with the credit card, your phone's covered. If it gets damaged, stolen, it'll cover $800 per claim with a $25 deductible. Of course, all this gets nicely bundled into a no annual fee card. My verdict is, if you're looking for a card that gives you travel benefits without an annual fee and you might pay rent, this is a card that you're gonna wanna jump on in 2023. So hopefully it makes sense as to why this card is included on the list, even though there's no sign-up bonus, which I know I feel like such an idiot for breaking my own rule, but it's such a unique card and special card. I had to call it out on here because, again, nobody is earning points on rent in which they're helping either to cover that transaction cost or cutting a check to your landlord, and it's your largest monthly expense. You might as well get some true tangible value out of that. Coming in at number 5, we have the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. This card comes with a sign-up bonus of $200 after spending $1,000 in the first 90 days. In addition, you are gonna get a 0% promotional APR for the first 18 months. Pause here for a sec. Just because there's no interest for the first 18 months, or they say 18 billing cycles, does not mean you get to hold a balance. Remember, when it comes to your credit card, your utilization accounts for 30% of your credit score. So yes, you could hold a balance. Yes, you won't be assessed interest, but you will hurt yourself because you're gonna be utilizing that credit limit. And if utilization is over, let's say 15 or 20%, you're going to get dinged. That said, it is a nice to have if for whatever reason you're managing cash flow and you need to put a big purchase on something and you know you're gonna pay it all off within 18 billing cycles. As far as earnings for this card, you're going to earn 3% cash back, but it's pretty unique because you get to select a category. I'm not gonna go over all the categories, you can see them laid out here, but the categories that I do wanna call out are 1, gas, as well as online shopping. Gas, pretty self-explanatory. We drive our cars, we gotta fill up on gas is expensive, let's get a discount. But the online shopping one is interesting because I personally think this card could be an Apple Card killer. Why? Because you apply for an Apple Card to save money at Apple, but you don't save money at Apple because you don't get a sign-up bonus. This card actually can give you a sign-up bonus, and if you think about it, most people are buying 1 or 2 big things ever from Apple in a year. In addition, the Apple Card gives 3% cash back when you buy stuff from Apple. Well, this card gives 3% cash back on online shopping. Guess what qualifies for that category? Apple.com. Boom. So those are the 2 I wanted to call out. You're also gonna get 2% cash back on grocery as well as wholesale club. Also, you wanna call out between the 3 and 2% category, you're gonna earn the maximum cash back against $2,500 of aggregate spend, and everything else is gonna be 1% cash back. As for benefits of the card, the most unique thing to call out is the Bank of America Preferred Rewards Program. Basically, if you've got stacks on stacks on stacks on deposit with Bank of America, you can earn some extra cash back, starting at as low as $20,000 on deposit, going all the way up to over $100,000 with Bank Bank of America, you can get an additional bonus anywhere from 25% to 75% on top of the cashback earnings. And again, no annual fee. So my verdict for this card, it is actually a pretty easy catch-all card. If you think about where you're spending most, it's likely grocery. It's amazing that Wholesale Club is included, so if you shop at a Sam's Club or a Costco or a BJ's and you don't have a dedicated card there, this is a great catch-all. And in the 3% category, whether it's gas, whether it's online shopping or home improvement, you can also change that every single month to point it at a category in which you think you're gonna be spending more. So overall, this is a pretty easy card, and especially if you're considering an Apple Card, you should really consider this card instead, purely on the sign-up bonus and the 3% for online shopping. Pick apple.com. Coming in at number 4 is the CITI Custom Cash. This card comes with a sign-up bonus of $200 after spending $1,500 within the first 6 months. The card also offers 0% APR for the first 15 months. Same disclaimer as the Bank of America card. Don't use that 0% promotional APR if you don't absolutely need it. Get into a habit of paying on time and in full. This card has an earnings rate of 5% cash back for your highest spend category every single month. Now, the categories are listed here. The one I'm probably gonna call out, or the two rather, are gonna be gas as well as grocery, because again, for a lot of us, that's probably one of our largest monthly expenses behind rent. It is important to note though, you will only earn 5% cash back for the first $500 of spend in that category per month. Grocery can get up there pretty quickly. If gas is getting up there pretty quickly for you, yikes. For grocery, I think it might be pretty easy to get the $500 a month. For gas, might be a little bit more challenging, but again, depending on how much you drive. For everything else, you're gonna get 1% cash back, and you also get 1% cash back after you spend $500 or more in one of those particular categories. It is important to note, even though I'm saying cash back, you're actually gonna be earning these cash back points in points. I was really confusing. You're gonna be earning them as CITI thank you points. They're not particularly valuable unless you were to pair this up with a CITI Premier. If you have a CITI Premier card with the CITI Custom Cash, you can take the thank you points and transfer them to the CITI Premier, and then the CITI Premier, remember what we said about the BILT card? It's a premium card that lets you transfer points to a travel partner. The CITI Premier can then take those points, whoosh, and transfer them out to airlines as well as hotels. And I would say that's probably the major benefit of the card, is that pairing of CITI thank you points between a custom cash as well as a Premier. Otherwise though, it's a pretty vanilla card, no annual fee. My pro tip for you is if you want 5% cash back in any particular category that was mentioned earlier, then I would highly recommend only using the card in that one instance. That's it. So if you want it to be your 5% earning on gas, only use it on gas. Then you ensure that it is your highest spend every single month. Personally though, I think that's a great strategy where you find one of those categories, you lock it in, and you'll just get 5% cash back every single month. In a quick pause here, folks, even though we're talking about beginner credit cards, I also want you to know that there's a bit of a credit card ladder we're climbing, right? Just because you get one beginner credit card doesn't mean that's it, you're done. You can get multiple, and they can serve multiple purposes. Of course, people like to condense, like to keep it simple, I get it. But for a card like the Custom Cash, it's pretty easy to just write a label, gas only, grocery only, whatever, boom, and that's it. So my overall verdict for the CITI Custom Cash is I think it's one of the best gas and or grocery cards, period. And especially as a beginner, where you're probably spending the most behind rent, is in those two categories. My recommendation, take the CITI Custom Cash, label it either just gas or either grocery, target that spend, and that's it. And then you can layer another card on top of it, and don't forget, there's a sign-up bonus, so you could save $200 if you plan to save $1,500 in the next 6 months. Coming in at number 3, we have the Chase Freedom Flex. This card comes with a $200 sign-up bonus after spending $500 in the first 3 months. It also comes with 0% APR for the first 15 months. The Chase Freedom Flex is gonna earn you 5% cash back on categories that change every quarter, so roughly every 3 months. This current quarter is PayPal and Walmart. Now, they haven't released the full calendar for 2023, but we can take a look at what were some of the categories that were earning 5% cash back in 2022. So in Q1 of 2022, it was things like grocery stores and eBay. In Q2, it was Amazon and select streaming. Q3 was gas stations, car rental, movie, select live entertainment. And Q4 currently is gonna be Walmart and PayPal. This card will also earn 5% cash back on travel that you book through the Chase Ultimate Reward Portal. You'll get 3% cash back on dining, 3% cash back at drugstores, and 1% cash back everywhere else. This is a pretty stacked lineup for an earnings rate. Benefits for this card are so-so. I think the biggest one is the fact that you are in the Chase ecosystem. So Chase, I would argue, some of the most valuable points in the credit card space. With the Chase Freedom, even though you're earning cash back similarly to how the CITI Custom Cash was earning cash back, but you could transfer them if you had another CITI card, you can actually transfer this cash back and they're converted basically into ultimate reward points if you have a Chase Sapphire Preferred or a Chase Sapphire Reserve. And if you take those points and redeem through a Sapphire Reserve or Preferred portal, you can get anywhere from a 25% to a 50% boost in those points, or you could take those points and then transfer them to a flight partner or a hotel partner. This card will also earn 5% cash back on all Lyft rides until March of 2025. And surprisingly here, you also get cell phone coverage. This is gonna range anywhere from $600 to $800 of coverage and a deductible of $50. Annual fee, of course, is $0. And so what is my verdict? Love the Chase ecosystem. I'm a huge Chase fanboy. I've had a Chase Freedom, Freedom Unlimited, Freedom Flex, Sapphire Preferred, Sapphire Reserve, Chase Ink. I've had them all. The reason this isn't higher on the list is I personally, just anecdotally through my experience, I think Chase is just a little bit harder to get approved for. If you're right out the gate, maybe you're looking for your second, they're just a little bit harder to get approved for. And the most important thing I think for any beginner is get a credit card, be confident, learn how to use it, get your next one, right? We're not just gonna get one card and that's it. We're gonna get one, then another, and another. But if you come in swinging, you get denied once, maybe twice, you get discouraged, and that's just not a great way to start off. And that's the only reason Chase is a little bit lower on the list, right in the middle of the pack here, because I think for a brand new newbie, it is slightly more challenging to get approved for. If you can, rock it all day. But my whole thing is, for a beginner, I want you to get approved. I want you to build confidence. I want you to learn how to use a card, and then you're on to your next one. Next up, we have the Discover It. This is a card that I personally had since my college days, like well, I guess it's not over 10 years, closing in on 10 years now. And this card is a workhorse. I mean, you let me know. If you have had to Discover It, comment down below, because I guarantee you the majority of you had. Discover It comes with doubling your cash back in the first year as a sign-up bonus, and it will also give you 0% APR for the first 15 months. And so what does doubling your APR in the first year mean? It actually means 10% cash back, because its regular earnings is a 5% cash back on rotating categories, very similar to the Chase Freedom Flex. So looking back on Discover's calendar from 2022, in Q1 it was 5% cash back on grocery stores and fitness clubs and gyms. Q2 was gas stations and Target. Q3 was restaurants and PayPal, and Q3 currently is Amazon.com and digital wallets. Benefits for the Discover It. I would say the biggest one is no foreign transaction fee. So if you are, again, looking to travel, you want to get abroad, this could easily be a card you take with you. Wrapped in no annual fee. My verdict for the Discover. This is a workhorse backbone beginner entry card. A little bit higher than Chase because, again, anecdotally, I think personally, it's a little bit easier to get approved for. And honestly, Discover does a really good job of easing people in. There's really good educational information. You're getting your first card. And so that's why the Discover It comes in at number 2 for beginner credit cards. And coming in at number 1, the top beginner credit card you should consider in 2023 is none other than the Capital One QUICKSILVER. I know that might shock a lot of you, but I think it's gonna be clear once I walk through some of the benefits and why I think this is gonna be the top card for you. So the sign-up bonus for the Capital One QUICKSILVER is similar to the Discover It, in which your cashback is doubled in the first year. What does that mean? Well, this card offers 1.5% cashback on everything, which means in the first year, you're gonna get 3% cash back on everything, which is pretty crazy. So basically, in the first year, 3% cash back on gas, grocery, online shopping, I mean, everything. You'll also get 5% cash back if you book hotels or car rental through the Capital One travel portal. Oh, I should also note a bonus of a 0% promotional APR for the first 15 months. As far as benefits for this card, similar to the Discover It as well, at a no foreign transaction fees. Now, why is it then this card is gonna be number 1? Well, again, anecdotally, right, when we're talking about what is easiest to get approved for, I would say anecdotally, a QUICKSILVER off the bat is something to really consider, especially if your credit's not that great. You'll be considered for other type of tier of credits based on kind of what I've seen online. So if you're just starting out, again, you're looking for a beginner credit card, you're looking for no annual fee, some sort of sign-on bonus, obviously cashback earnings, but you also wanna get approved, I think the Capital One QUICKSILVER is gonna be that card for you. And keep in mind, you don't have to just stop here. It's not just, oh, I've got the QUICKSILVER and that's it. No. You got the QUICKSILVER, you got approved, you're learning how to use it. In 6 months, you're getting your next card. In 12 months, you're getting another card. That's how the credit card game works. It's not just what is the absolute best and that's it forever. No, it's what's the absolute best right now to get me started so that I can get the next card. I can get a mid-tier card, a top-tier card, the free travel, more cash back, and so on and so forth. I'm not here just to get you one card and that's it for life. We're trying to get the best possible card for the current moment so that we can later scale it. So folks, this has been an incredible video. I hope you took some value out of it. Again, if you have gotten any of the cards I talk about here, comment down below and also help folks out who have some questions. At the end of the day, it's a community, right? We all get started someplace. I still remember getting my very first Chase Freedoms and first Discovers thinking, man, is this the right card? Is this the best card? And now I look back, it would have been awesome to have a guide like this basically saying, it doesn't really matter, because for the most part, you're gonna get a second, a third, a fourth card, and then you'll start figuring out, okay, this is the best card for me. And again, if you want to support in any way, feel free to check out any of my affiliate links down below, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace!